What's good, sugar babies? How's it going? I'm so much better today than I was yesterday. I was like just a frazzled, razzle dazzle. I had a migraine. I've been working like so many days in a row, and I had So you remember when if you haven't seen the Oracle forecast for the week, go back and watch it because we talked about how there was going to be like an emotional purge that was going to make way for manifestation to come through. So it's already happening. I woke up today thinking I was actually a little weepy this morning, just random small cries, and I already know. I think my friend commented that she'd had some random small cries today too, just from nowhere and whatever. And so it's me too. I was just randomly purging, and crying and weeping through the morning, and it was just feeling good. And then in between, I was like doing my twerk out, doing my hip hop dance because I was too tired to go running, but I still wanted to do something. So I was like, okay, I'll do like a dance workout or whatever. So I turned it around and just purged all the feelings and felt them. Started to feel better. And I was like, man, I'm glad I'm going into work tonight, but I wouldn't hate it if Mike cut me from the floor. Maybe he'll reach out and see if I want to be cut, because I was so tired. And I was like, I think I can pick up later in the week. And plus it was a cold, sort of rainy day here. So that's usually not a huge day for restaurants anyway. So I knew I was not going to be missing much. And lo and behold, I am about to get in the shower and start getting ready. And I get a text that's like, hey, I know you got your ass kicked this weekend. Do you want to have off tonight? And I was like, oh my God. Yes. It was you're in my mind every time. So I was so grateful. So I went out and ran errands and went and bought a bunch of stuff I was out of and treated myself to my favorite fast food. I'm not really a fast food person. Every now and then I'll have Taco Bell, but my one fast food that I really like are Crystals. And don't come at me with that White Castle jive ass bullshit. Crystals only, okay? They have mustard, onion, grease, and pickle, and a steamed bun, and that's all you need. And beef, obviously, a very thin, basically a rat burger. But yeah, so I had that this afternoon, and now I'm gonna have a good oven pizza tonight. And maybe I'm gonna see if I can pull up. I thought I saw Showgirls on one of the menus somewhere, and that's the cheesiest movie on earth, and it's one of my favorites. And yeah, it'll be great for a bootleg theater if I can get it to play. So we'll see about that. But today we are here to do our extended reading for our Monday cards. And one last thing. I actually found, so every spring, right after the cherry blossoms bloom, there's this tree in bloom by Walgreens near the Good Kroger, and it has the most beautiful pink blossoms, and I'm always driving past it thinking oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I need to get a closer look at them. And tonight I happened to be at that Walgreens and they were in bloom, and I was like, okay, cool. So I just started foraging the blossoms, and I added them to my also manifested bouquet with last week's thematic protection fern, which is always be laughing and cackling because Magick is hilarious. So yeah, so I foraged my pink, I guess they're apple blossoms, but they're, I don't know, they're so pretty. They smell really sweet. Okay, so let's get to the point, what we all came here for. So we had an interesting card pop up, and it was death. The death card popped up, but I wasn't really that concerned about it. I thought, okay, this is good because we've been going through this transformation for so long, and it's when are we just gonna die? It feels like the longest Monty Python death scene ever. It's we've been laying in the battlefield with the 10 of swords in our back, and we've just been crawling are we gonna die? Is someone gonna help us? The crows are beginning to peck at our flesh. We're already a carcass, and we just can't just die. Just let us die. And finally, we're dead. We're dead meat. And this is great because this is resurrection week. And we are going to rise again from the ashes like the phoenix. So not only is it Easter, Easter Sunday, this Sunday, I hope I'm right about that, or else this is a bold-faced lie. And also, so this Friday is Passover on Shabbat. And so I'm very excited. I don't know if Passover is always on Shabbat. I don't know if Passover always falls on Good Friday. I know that they're always close together. But this year, it's all clumped on the same weekend. So that's really amazing, because Passover was when Moses freed the Jews from Egypt. And he warned the Pharaoh to let them go, and he didn't. And so the Pharaoh, I think he set like 7 plagues on the Pharaoh. I think it was 7, I'm not sure. And then the last of the plagues was the death angel that was going to go through and take the firstborn son or child of every house. And so in order to protect yourself from the death angel, you were to paint your doorway with lamb's blood. And this might sound... Isn't it funny with like the slight differences between like what's considered magic and like sorcery and what's considered just like religious ritual? But so the point of Moses going and taking the Israelites into the desert for 40 years, and it's funny, 40 years, Jesus was in the desert, in the wilderness for 40 days. Like, Jesus was a good Jew. He was doing this like on purpose. Like, this was his Passover season, I guess, when he's like contemplating all the things that, he was rising and facing his own equal opponent in his lifetime. And so that's where he was tempted in the wilderness 3 times by the devil. And so this week we have this open portal of energy that is going to assist us to overcome that which would enslave us. Whatever it is that makes us feel powerless, or it makes us feel disempowered, or something that has control over us, or makes us feel like we need to control it. Whatever it is that's got its grip on us, that we don't have the freedom to sort of just come and go and like let it be there without a cage, that is going to be taken. So bad habits, addictions, maybe things from your past that have haunted you that you just can't get past. You can try to let that go this week. Forgive yourself, like just move forward, move on. Things that you thought that you had to be that weren't really you, that you thought would make you enough to be loved, or, a good enough, or things that would make you lovable. It's like you realize now that you don't need any of those things, that you are enough just as you are. And so we are dying to these masks that we've put on ourselves that aren't really us, that aren't our true selves. We're dying to the parts of our ego that make us feel small and disempowered. We're dying to the parts of the ego that makes us feel grandiose or arrogant or better than others. We're dying to the parts of our ego that would reach for instant gratification, the urge to receive for the self alone. And we're dying to the parts of ourselves that are too prideful, that feel like they need to control, that they feel arrogant enough to feel like that they have any control over anything to begin with. So this is great. We're finally dying to all of those patterns, all of that like old self. And I really think that we are up leveling and like really starting to tap into that potential, that higher version of us, that up leveled version, a more evolved, more conscious, more aware, a person, like the version of ourselves that's more self-mastered. And what's amazing is that I was like, okay, well, I'm not just going to leave this death card. I feel like there's good news to go with it. And so I just started flipping, and I got King of Cups, and I was like, okay, cool. Let's just do a 3 to round it off. And then I got Queen of Cups. So the pair are together. And I love this because so the transformation has occurred. And now we have mastery over our emotional realm. We are comfortable to experience the full range and depth and breadth of those emotions, the highs and the lows, and we're comfortable with them now. And we know that we're safe to have those emotions because they don't control us. We have control. We steer the course of our ship. We can take our emotions into consideration and learn what we need to from what our feelings are telling us, and then use our discernment and our wisdom and that hard-earned like knowledge and understanding and compassion to make the best choice in the end for the highest good for ourselves, the highest good for all involved. And so that means that we can sort of begin to let our guard down and open our heart up, because we built trust in ourselves that we're not going to put ourselves, like if we find ourselves in a terrible situation, we can just make another choice. We can leave the job, and we know we don't have to leave it, without having another source of income. Like we can find another job and then leave the job. You know what I mean? Like we can figure it out and we can take care of ourselves. And so we know how to discern, because we're not so reactive to our fearful thoughts or getting overly excited or jumping to conclusions or getting carried away. Like we know how to kind of balance all of that. And so we also can now, the queen is like super intuitive, and she's so fully like plugged into her intuition that she really knows how to rely on that intuition more so than her logic and reason. And so these two together, I feel like this is the masculine part of our emotional realm and the feminine part of our emotional realm finally coming into balance, which is great because that is like a signal of huge healing and transformation. What we always want to be doing on the inside in our internal work is bringing those opposing forces into balance. Each one of the governing forces of the universe is also mirrored in our soul. And so these are all their own energy centers, but they're also like kind of are complementary and opposite of one another. And so by themselves, too much of one or not enough of one turns a virtue into a vice. And also in juxtaposition to one another, if we have too much of one and not enough of the other, they turn into from virtue to vice. So we're always trying to balance these realms. And so I feel like these two, like this king is sitting straight across from her, looking at her. She's looking into the cup. Both of them have like their cup runneth over. They both have their own handle on their own cup. They know how to fill their own cup. They're both filled on their own, but they can sit with each other in the same space. Notice that he is surrounded by water, but both of his feet are on solid ground, whereas the queen has one foot on solid ground and she keeps one in the depths of the subconscious. So she is in touch with her divine feminine. She is and this could be also like a guy or a gender neutral person who is like balancing those sides of themselves that can have emotional balance and be comfortable with the emotions and finally learn how to stay grounded within that, and then also trust the self enough to listen to the intuition and trust and value the intuition as well. A resurgence of creativity, of psychic abilities, like those are going to be really heightened. Maybe a lot of dreams coming through, a lot of vivid dreams at night. Maybe you're feeling like you're going into a trance more in your waking state and feeling like you're like kind of having visions in your waking day as you go about your day. So start paying attention to some of these things. The queen loves to be like the nurturing listener and be the spiritual guide for others, to give them advice and counsel and hear them out. She's very empathic, very compassionate, and she's very nurturing towards others. The downfall of the queen can be that she gets really tired and doesn't take good enough care of herself and can get like weepy like I was yesterday and frazzled. So self-care is always emphasized, and take magical healing baths. Those are great. Add Epsom salt. I love Dr. Teal's because they have all of the herbal like aromatherapy and witchy potions like already ready to go that you can throw into your tub. So yeah, on a like literal note, this could be that like two people have both been through really intense life-changing events that have caused them to go through drastic transformation in their lives, and having come to the other side of that they are now beginning to open their hearts, and maybe like two kindreds are starting to like come together, like they can see one another. It seems to hear that the masculine is sitting and he is like looking directly at the female, or they in this particular deck. This is a gender neutral person, which I like that because the King of Cups is a feminine masculine energy. So this is like a pretty good representation of that. And then the feminine is really like focused on her gifts, her intuition, her creativity, and what she's working on. And so they're hanging out together here after the transformation. So yeah, maybe there's a kindred spirit coming into the midst. Could be a friend, could be a more, maybe some l'amour is in the air. Spring times, spring flings, and other things. Okay, guys. Let's do one straightforward oracle, and we'll do one card from Mary, Queen of Angels, to see. Ooh, okay, that one. Ooh, trusted advice. Trust what I'm saying. You can trust me. Someone around you is offering you advice. Take it. It's safe to listen. They have a point. Okay, cool. So to me, that just emphasizes like that everything that we just talked about is really valid. And let's see what Mary, Mother of Angels, aka Jesus' mother, has to tell us. Ooh, inner child. Okay, so that has been a consistent theme coming up. And this is true. The more I work on my inner child, the more the rest of my life just seems to open up and flow. And like my money flows, opportunity flows, like friendship flows, fun just seems to be happening. Small manifestations are coming through, big ones. So I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. So if you have some time, get out and play. Do the things that you love. And let's see, we had blessings. Ooh, count your blessings. Small and large. I noticed the new gifts that come to me from God. Devotion and Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. Ooh, I've been trying to do some father healing. Seems like I'm just on my own there. So I don't know really. I've kind of come to an impasse. I'm just like, okay, well, I just accept that he's just him. And so hopefully maybe I have some outside help with that. Otherwise, it is what it is, honey. And yeah, blessings are coming. And let's see, what does devotion say? As I fully commit to my values, relationships, and God, I am clear about what to do next. And I like this because it's like getting really clear and really focused on the intentions of what we want to create. And don't get sidetracked. Don't start following shiny objects. Don't be filling up on snacks. Hold out for what you want. And don't settle for less. And yeah, just be certain that everything is just like working out and playing out, and things may not be as they appear. They might be better than they appear. All right. We have a new moon in Libra coming up, which is my rising sign. So this is like my fucking month, y'all. And I think the energy is just getting better and better. I know that the first 12 days of April were probably very challenging for all of us. That is like the big thing about the first 12 days of April. And I kind of touched on that, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, just about how the new moon of April affects the rest of our calendar year as far as like the astrological cycles. Each day is like a unique challenge that corresponds with like the month that it corresponds with. Long story. So go back and watch those yesterday, or possibly, what is today? What is today? Oh, today's Monday. So I think it might have been Sunday's video. Yeah, yesterday. All right, y'all. I'm going to throw my really good pizza in the oven, and I'm going to see if I can watch Showgirls. Because it's like the best, cheesiest movie ever. And yeah, I feel so much better, and I'm happy, and I have apple blossoms. Ciao, Bellas.